What is going on, everybody? Who's jazzed to be here? I see Megan is. What's going on, Kenneth, Corey, Trent, Olive? I am live in Great Falls, Montana at our Airbnb. So I'm working off of an iPad today. The one drawback to our Airbnb, first, it's amazing. It's a little two-bedroom, one-bath house in downtown Great Falls, which the downtown isn't very big, but it's downtown Great Falls. The one drawback is the Wi-Fi is not awesome. So I'm working off my iPad because I have 5G on my iPad, and so that's how I'm doing the show. So anyway, at AI, what I am not jazzed about is all the negativity lately. We're not here for negativity today. We're here for positivity. So hopefully you'll like today's show. And Corey is jazzy like Jeff. Jake with his typical welcome. So anyway, so yeah, my wife and I flew out here to Montana on Saturday. We got here about noon Mountain Time. I got to hang out with our daughter for most of the day. She drove us around, showed us around. And then yesterday we went up into the mountains, which are only about a half an hour away. And then we went to a lake where she does her paddle boarding, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Words do not do it justice. It was so peaceful and so beautiful, and we just kind of sat on the beach, kind of took it all in for some time, and it's freaking incredible. Yeah, they have internet in Montana, but it is not awesome. Not awesome at all. Mark Phillips, what's the temp there? Today, like I think the high 77. There's no humidity in the air at all. It's I think it's going to get to the 80s by the end of the week. But this is really probably my daughter said the last time we can really get out here where it's not going to like take that bitter dip into the super cold weather for their winter. But like yesterday when we were driving out into the mountains, there were signs up like, hey, it's legal to have studded tires starting October 1st. So yeah, in 15 days, they can start putting studded tires on because, and they're actually predicted to get one of the worst winters they've had in a while. So my daughter's super excited about that. But yeah, great trip out there yesterday. But the most important part of it all is that, as a dad, seeing my daughter so happy. She absolutely loves it here. Growing up, she wanted to be a photographer. She's wanted to be a photographer since she was in middle school. She knew the school she wanted to go to, and she got herself accepted into the number one photojournalism school in the country. And it's hard when you're a parent to truly support a kid that wants to be an artist, because in the back of my head is like, how are you going to support yourself? And yet we push through because she wanted it so bad, and she's known what she wanted to be for so long. Buying her cameras in high school, and really pushing her in that direction. She went and showed her portfolio to the school she wanted to go to. 2 days later, she was accepted into the program. She's just a remarkable kid with knowing what she wants. And to see her out here thriving, doing what she loves, taking pictures. She's a fashion photographer now. She takes pictures of people in clothes that then she runs their social media account for all of that. So super proud of her, and she's so happy. Does she have an IG page we can follow to support her? So the company has an IG page. It is North 40 Apparel, I believe. Um, North 40 Apparel. She runs that IG page for the company. Um, and again, it's for ranchers and farmers, and they sell, boots and hats and shirts, um, stuff like that. But they sell a lot of things. But anyway, she's the head of their apparel division, social media. So yeah, but to see her like why she loves it out here, which is in this current climate, is she's like, it's so apolitical. There are no all that people care about out here is their land, and land is bigger than money. And it's really quiet, and you don't get into the big political discussions like she was used to back in Ohio, or even in Pennsylvania, where she lived for a while. And she just loves it. It's very peaceful. Everybody kind of just goes about their own business, um, and it's just awesome. She she's quite something. The only thing that is she's struggling with right now is learning how to budget as an independent woman in a new place, paying for, an apartment and a new car and all of that stuff. But other than that, she's doing so good, and I'm so happy that we got to come out here and see all of that. So I don't know if you guys know, but Jamie, my co-host on the Sunday Night Show, Jamie Latimer, she had hip surgery on Friday, and I wanted to give you guys a quick update on that. It went really well. She posted on Snapchat, and I think she even put a video up on IG showing her under the influence of some narcotic to get her into the surgery. But she is doing really well with all of that. Um, and she's been dealing with this for as long as she can remember, like all the way back to college. Some stuff um, with her hip. So hopefully this is something to really correct that issue. And who knows, maybe she's even fitter than we think she is. Wouldn't that be incredible? Trained Olive with one of the truest statements ever. Budgeting is hard for a lot of adults. It is. It is. Um, and Shay got to see that video of Jamie. Yeah, she's I think it was her husband was sending me her Snapchats before surgery and after. It was crazy. Um, but the good news is I don't think there was any tear in the labrum of the hip. It was just getting it aligned correctly, and they did shave some bone. But hopefully she's doing a lot better. But it's probably going to be a full 6 months before she's back to her normal self physically. So it's going to be a lengthy rehab. I think that's what she told us in the group chat. So yeah, hip surgery doesn't sound fun. No, no surgery sounds fun, to be honest. Uh, and trained Olive, as someone who has had surgery in June, I know how stir crazy she's going to be. Oh, she's going to be unbearable. I feel bad for her husband, Aaron, that's going to have to deal with her over the next 6 months. Um, but she does own a gym, and hopefully she can at least go be there and support her customers and her um, and do all that kind of stuff. So Joseph Ramirez says BP 157 BPC. She would never do that. She wants to compete. She would never, um, because of that, want to compete, and she's very adamant about having a clean sport. Um, she would never ever do that, even if it would help her. So, um, but I've heard amazing things about it. It really does help with the recovery of surgeries and things like that. So, yeah. I don't know how long this show is going to be. It depends on what you guys want to talk about. But I did see, I have been very, very disconnected from everything CrossFit over the weekend. Thank you to our stats and info person, Holly, for putting out adaptive athlete finishes, schedules, all of that to keep our account active and support those who competed at the Adaptive CrossFit Games this weekend. I'll probably go back and watch a little bit of it this week, and I'll give some feedback as to the broadcast and things like that. But kudos to everybody who participated this last weekend. But I was on a plane for a long time on Saturday, and I was I was pretty much off the grid where we went yesterday, and couldn't get anything in cell wise. So, yeah, Shay, we're going to get to that in a second. So, Jeff Bako asks, does anyone know of any oral BPC 157 that works? I've never even heard of an oral BPC 157. Everybody I know that has taken it and has told me has worked has been the injection. So, yeah, that's what I heard, Jeff. Mark Phillips says, not sure it would survive the gut. Yeah. They're advertised on IG all the time, but they all look like scams. Yeah, they probably are. Lana says adaptive games are incredible. Lana would know. Lana follows so much of this stuff. She's just a rock star when it comes to what's going on in the space. Again, I'll probably watch back some of it this week as my daughter's going to be working for most of the day, the next few days. So I'll piddle around through some different stuff. But the only thing I actually caught up on yesterday was the Bears game, which I shouldn't have. It was atrocious. They didn't even show up. And then I got beat in our fantasy league by Natalie Lemieux. She crushed me. She still has people going tonight, and I'm done, and she's already ahead of me. So it was not a good football weekend for me. My wife's Steelers lost too, so it was really just a bad football weekend. So Jay Birch, site injection is probably your best bet. Yeah, it gets right to uh, the needed area quickly. So and Joseph Ramirez, yes, the Bears haven't shown up since '85. We all know. I've been a fan since before that. I know. Trust me. I know every single day. How about the Steeler who let the kickoff drop behind him for a Seahawks TD? I've seen it happen before. The college rule is if the ball gets to the end zone, it becomes a dead ball. The NFL rule is it's a live ball until someone downs it in the end zone, or it turns into a TD. He did not know the difference between the college rule and the NFL rule, and that really cost the Steelers probably the game yesterday. What about the Bears with Grossman? Almost won the Super Bowl. They did. We've had little flirts with success, but dude, we haven't had a winning season since 2018. Winning season, not playoffs, not Super Bowl, not just a winning season. Awful. Jamie kicked my butt in fantasy this week. My team was horrible. Trained Olive getting crushed, just like me. There we go. At least Tyson got in. Beijing completed 2 of 3 passes for 27 yards, along with 2 rushes for 7. Yeah, he got in, but by that point, the Lions were just teeing off. And so smartly, the Bears just started handing the ball off more. Um, so Jeff Bako, Scott is a Bob Avellini fan. That's how old he is. I have a Bears helmet that hangs behind me. I don't even know if you can see it. And Bob Avellini is a signature on that helmet. So that is how old and long I've been following the Bears. All right. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know they made one of these. I have a William Perry G.I. Joe figure at my parents' house still. Didn't even know they made a fridge. I have a love-hate relationship with the fridge. Um, I I was not a huge fan. He was a flash in the pan. Um, he was good for fun during the 85 season, but as a defensive tackle, he was okay. Um, anyway, um, Justin Coller's on Be Friendly after the show if anyone's interested. Okay. I actually talked to Justin this morning by text. Um, I've not, Aaron, talked about Cotler yet. We're just getting to it now. But Justin and I did text this morning. I did congratulate him on the move to HWPO. If people don't know that happened, it was announced this morning that he was going to HWPO. And I'm trying to see if I have share screen. I do not see share screen as one of my menu items on this iPad. So I can't share the announcement. So anyway, we'll do that here at some point. Maybe I'll be able to get on to some Wi-Fi or hotspot later in the week. But I did text back and forth with him. Yeah, Underdogs is gone. He's closing the doors on Underdogs. Um, I actually talked to him a lot about it at the age group games. And I've talked to him about it previously to that. With his daughter getting sick, his priorities have changed completely. What he loves doing is coaching. He doesn't love running a business. He says that in his statement today. And so he's moved over as a coach for HWPO. I think it is actually a perfect fit. The one thing that HWPO is missing with their program is a coach with the passion that Justin has to coach elite athletes to the CrossFit Games. And his goal is to bring another champion back to HWPO. And so it's the perfect fit. And then Justin didn't want to run a business. He started Underdogs, and he was and he even says it himself. He was a mom and pop shop in this world of like the big proven and the big mayhem. And even HWPO had way more resources than he could supply at Underdogs for the athletes. And so the move over for him gives him resources he didn't have before. And now he brings them a coach with passion that they've never really had. So, and the one thing he told me is he's really not going to he doesn't love doing programming. He loves coaching. And so I think all the people at HWPO that are doing the programming will continue to do the programming, where he will be there just to coach those athletes. I know there's a lot of questions popping in. Is Alex an HWPO athlete? I do not see the two of them breaking up for any reason. So I believe that Alex will just go straight over to HWPO. are Alex and Justin moving to Boston? I do not believe so. I believe that Justin will go ahead and stay in Vegas, and he'll probably just do things remote from there. Uh, uh, da, 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 da. Aaron Fraser, can you bring Kale Lehman to the podium? Hey, maybe that's the thing we just we're missing. Oop. Megan Bauman, he's a great coach, so hoping it's a good fit for him too. I think it's a great fit for him. Him and Matt O'Keefe are tight. This seems to be the right fit for him. He's going with someone he trusts, and Justin's a big trust guy. Like, it's just his priorities had to shift once Ivy was diagnosed with this kidney disease, and he needed to do something that allowed him to do what he loves on one hand and to be with those he loved on the other. And this does that. It takes a lot of the minutia away from what he was doing, and now all he's doing is coaching. Just coaching. I agree completely, Craig. Justin would be a great front man for HWPO. Nobody has the passion for coaching and their athletes like Justin does. And I think it's a great fit for them. It's something they've been missing for a while at HWPO, and maybe this will bring back their elite division as part of their training camp. Jay Birch, Alex Simano, both will become HWPO from my understanding. I think all of his athletes will go over to HWPO. I think it's going to be a pretty seamless transition. It's just like when other coaches have left, like Kiefer went to Proven from Underdogs, and Kiefer took all his athletes with him. It's going to be the same thing that happened there, I believe. Jeff Bako, would Shane Orr or Mayhem take on athlete who wanted to podium at the games and do it remotely? They do right now. There's a lot of Mayhem athletes that don't live in Cookeville. Austin Hatfield lives in West Virginia for now. And Proven has all the Australian athletes. Olivia Kerstetter doesn't live in Nashville. She does that from Kansas. So they all do it now. I think they all found that having everybody in the same place competing against each other every single day isn't necessarily the best fit. That actually having some people remote and working with them there takes away some of that burnout competition that can happen from day to day. Yeah, Colton is a remote athlete. Megan's dead on. Colton is a remote athlete with Proven as well. At AI, family always is priority. Work is second. Exactly. And again, I think it's the right fit. I don't think Matt ever wanted to be the coach of elite athletes. And because of that, HWPO kind of fell out of that. They didn't give, other than Mal, I just don't think they gave it the attention that it needed. And then and Matt has one way of doing things. And like we saw with Jason Hopper, that just didn't work for him. Where now you have Justin Cotler, who is a little more like independently programming for people and making it fit for them. And I think that's what they needed. They needed that coach that loves on their athletes, that understands life. To be fair, Justin's much older than Matt is. He just understands more. And so bringing him on is a great move for HWPO. Him going there is a great move because it gives him more resources, because HWPO is killing it in like affiliate programming, private programming. Hell, they do golf programming, high rocks, all those other things. This just gives him more resources to be able to support his athletes the way he wants to, and will give him the opportunity to fight for that next champion that he wants to coach. Jeff Bako, I'm a boomer and don't believe in work from home either, so I guess the world has moved on and I am still in the past. See, I love work from home because I get to do it. Um, and I think it works in certain scenarios. Like in my scenario, I work from home, but I test a system that would go to our customers. And because I'm at home, I get to test it from outside our firewall, just like the customer would test it. So it makes sense for me. But I get what you're saying too. Um, Ed, Jeff, don't worry, you're a protected class. There you go. I am too. Lately, Matt is spending more time in videos and IG posts, but it looks forced and uncomfortable. I don't disagree. I don't think that this is what Matt really wants to do all the time. And Justin loves doing media. He loves talking to people. It's going to be a great fit for him. Yeah, affiliate is Michelle Latondra. Dildo, Matt, Tia, Rich can't coach of athletes. They were so dominant and trained in a way that any athlete doesn't give the effort they gave will be perceived as not trying hard enough. There is an old saying that those who were really great have a hard time coaching because a lot of things come naturally to them too. So it's hard to teach something that didn't come hard to you. If you have to go through the steps yourself, then you kind of understand it better. Um, Spending the time traveling on the road can be spent doing more things at home. Exactly. Um, I work from home and my house can start to feel like a prison. Uh, you do have to kind of make that concerted effort to get out of the house. Um, and this show helps me a lot. Just going to my basement, talking to you guys for half hour, 45 minutes every day, just as a nice break in the middle of the day that I need to kind of get out of my rut. Um, and then like going and working out or going to a gym or going hanging out with friends, like that just becomes more priority when you work from home. You need a second computer in the basement set up, Mark. Yep. Yep, that's what I do. Um, so yeah. So I'm excited for Justin. We talked this morning. He's super excited. Uh, I had guessed that he was going to make this move. We were going to meet at the age group games, and I was going to tell him my guess. I did not get the right training camp, though, but I did know he was going to make a move. I just picked the wrong one. Uh, so my initial gut was that he was going to go with HWPO, but I second guessed it because of something I heard in a podcast. And then I thought he was going to go to TTT because they announced in their podcast that he had helped them out at the games this year, and they really appreciated his help with their athletes because of the two buildings. And that's where I got swung in the wrong direction. Um, so there it is. Yeah. Jeff Bako, I'm just annoyed that I look forward to retirement to be able to go to Walmart at 10 a.m. when everyone is at work. And now everyone works from home, so it's as crowded all day long. Well, if they're working from home, they're not supposed to be at Walmart. They just need better bosses. At AI, my wife has her office in the spare bedroom, and I'm down in the foyer with my computer. We both wear headphones. That's just like being in the office, man. I used to wear headphones in the office all day long. It's just nice now. My wife gets to work from home a couple days a week, and then it's headphones time for us too. So there's that. Jay Birch, did you know they sell mini roadcasters at Target? I did not. Best time for Walmart is 9 p.m. I need to correct you. The best time for Walmart is never. I do not go to Walmart unless it is an absolute emergency. It doesn't, and where I live, the Walmart is busy 24 hours a day. It's never a good time to go. I go to an alternative store because it's just way better than Walmart for the crowds. It's just awful. um, I saw a whole podcast set up there the other day. You know what's crazy? I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I'm sitting here on an iPad, no roadcaster, no microphone, and I'm doing a podcast. If you truly, truly wanted to do a podcast, you don't need any of that stuff. You just have to have a computer of some sort and the software to get online. That's it. And everybody asks me, like, well, how do you start? How do you start? You just fire it up and you go. When you first start, nobody's listening to you anyway. And that's the perfect time to get started, when nobody's listening. Because you can screw up all you want and you can listen back and you can make changes and do all those things. And I've said this over and over again. These people that get a podcast on another channel that already has listeners and viewers, that is so scary to me. I can't, like, because when your first podcast, you have tons of people listening to you. Even if it's 100, that's way more than um that's way more than I ever had. I mean, when I first started my first 10 episodes, it was my mom. She was the only one that listened. Um, and so you can mess up all you want. But like the Glintons that went right onto a Savant channel, um, you have the out in the box office girls that went on Be Friendly. Like they started up in front of the whole world. I could never, ever have done that. I screwed up so much early on. Um, Best time is end of the month. Nobody is there because poor people don't have any EBT left. That's that's good logic, Seema. You sound better than Dents on this iPad too. I know she had a mic and then she got a new mic, and I was like, where That was not there. This this was the worst audio I've heard of hers. It was a good episode today, but yeah, I thought she got a new mic, and if that's the new mic, she needs to go back to the old one. Jay Birch, so are you just running through YouTube, or do you have any StreamYard running? So I have StreamYard running. That's what allows me to pull over the comments. But when I first started, I did it straight through YouTube. Well, actually, when I first started, we were audio only. So I just did it and recorded it and then pushed it out to all the audio platforms. And then when we went over to YouTube, I ran it. We did everything recorded, and then I just uploaded it all to YouTube. Um, if you're going to go live with a chat, then you probably need a StreamYard or one of the other softwares that allow you to do that, because it allows you to be more interactive with the audience. But yeah, 5 a.m. squat club. Preach, just do it. Yep. My mom doesn't watch my lives. Yeah, my mom does. She's been watching the lunch show for the last couple weeks, because she had a little mishap at work, and so she's been off for a couple weeks, and she's been listening every day. But she's babysitting my dog, and so she hasn't been able to watch me in the afternoon because my dog goes absolutely apeshit when he hears my voice on the TV. It's still just your mom listening. She just got tech savvy, created 40 different accounts and comments from them all simultaneously. Hey, still breaks up my day and still fun for me to do then. Hi, Mom. They screw up too, but just don't hide the mistakes. What I love about the Glintons, and I've said this over the last few weeks, is they are so energetic and enthusiastic about everything in the space. And I think some of us that have been in it a long time have gotten jaded over time. And they really have refreshed my love, my overall love for the sport. And that's where, like, when I go to the age group games, like, I am, those athletes make me so giddy, so giddy. I just love hanging out with them, probably because I'm 55 and they're all my age, and we can sit and chat and tell stories, and we all can relate to each other. They all work jobs, they all have kids. But that's what the Glintons are for me, man. They, like, when they were at the games and their show right after, talking about meeting this person and that person. Like, I remember when that was my first thing when I was a volunteer. They used to call me the selfie king when I was back as a volunteer. I would get my picture taken with everybody. And and it that so they actually have re-energized my love and my joy in the sport, because they just are sharing with us their perspective that I've lost because of being jaded through different things. And I just love the fact that they're very open and honest about it, and love that. So the Glintons are very talented. They are. Yeah, Jay Birch. When I'm with the age group athletes, we talk about the same aches and pains. Uh, David Reed, definition of hell is providing tech support for your parents. Amen, brother. Oh my gosh. My mom calls and she got signed out of something, or oh, my frustrations grow so fast trying to explain to her. And on FaceTime, like, I'm trying to get her to turn the camera so I can see what she's looking at, so I know where she's at, because she can't even describe to me, like, where it went wrong. And then she's moving and shaking and trying to, and I can't, I'm ready to throw up because I feel like I'm on a roller coaster ride. Insane. I love her to death. I love her to death, but the tech stuff, holy cow. Just FaceTiming the parent equals thumb over the camera. Well, my mom's FaceTime thing is, I don't know if I can do it. This would be FaceTiming my mom. It's always like this. I don't know why she is looking in a different direction, but all I can see is the top of her head. They changed everything. It was just an update. David Reed, I think we are related. My son is like an old man. I give more tech support to him than he does me. I don't ever want to get to a point where I can't just get through some stuff on my own. iPhone 17 has a center stage on the front camera now for our parents. You would think, but my mom has mastered the ability to duck the center stage. And then when it does activate on her and she's taking a drink and she does that, I get the close up, like right in here of her taking a drink. Yeah, AstroServe, we have talked about that Cotler is going to be on Brian Friend's channel here in a bit. So anyway, with that, guys, coming up on the 45-minute mark, I'm going to try to do shows every day from Montana here, and hopefully I can get caught up on some of the CrossFit stuff. Again, super happy for Justin Cotler. He sounded like we were texting back and forth this morning. This is exactly what he needs, and he's the perfect fit for them. And I think he's a perfect fit for them. They're the perfect fit for him, and it's going to go well. And I think he's going to be tremendously successful there. And I'll have him on soon. We can talk about all that stuff. But he said pretty much everything in the announcements on Instagram. And when I get Justin on, I like to just chat about different stuff. So anyway, with that, guys, Mark Phillips, so congrats on the Daughter Life event. Very exciting. It's really awesome. Cotler will also be on Pedro this afternoon. You're the most relaxed of the CrossFit podcast, easy listening. Yeah, unless I get into like riff mode or something gets me all fired up or someone gets me all fired up, watch for bears and moose. Yeah, when we were heading out to the mountains yesterday, there was a crossing sign for bighorn sheep. And then that's all my wife wanted to see were the bighorn sheep. So hopefully we see some before we leave. We did not see any yesterday. But that'd be fun. Traint Olive, glad to see you're doing well, Scott. Enjoy your family time. We're having a blast. All right, guys. With that, we will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. And you knuckleheads get back to work. With that, we'll catch everybody tomorrow. Bye, guys.